Hi everyone, welcome to Travelpedia Wow. In this video, we'll discuss the top 8 tourist destinations. Be sure to watch all the way to the top to see which city receives more than 22 million foreign visitors annually. Number 8. Istanbul, Turkey. 13.4 million. Istanbul is a priceless find. Treasure trove of culture, history, and adventure covered in a layer of exotic flavors while you gaze straight ahead at the captivating Bosphorus Strait. It makes sense that this metropolis attracts millions of foreign visitors each year, much like moths to a flame. Istanbul is a special location where East and West collide, with grand palaces and historic ruins coexisting with contemporary skyscrapers and bustling bazaars. Here, you can savor delicious kebabs, sip aromatic Turkish tea, and watch the sun set over the Bosporus. But like anything wonderful, there can be drawbacks to having too much of a good thing. Istanbul's infrastructure has been strained by the influx of foreign visitors, leading to price increases, overcrowding, and traffic jams. The once charming streets of the city are now clogged, making it challenging for residents to go about their everyday lives. Lastly, the abundance of visitors has put strain on the city's natural beauty spots and cultural and historical landmarks. With so many people visiting these locations, they run the risk of deterioration and harm, diluting its significance and attractiveness. Number 7. New York, USA. 13.6 million. New York City is a vibrant metropolis that welcomes millions of tourists each year from all over the world. From the sparkling lights of Times Square to the famous skyline, there is something for everyone to enjoy in this energetic city. However, despite the fact that tourists are always welcome, the sheer volume of visitors can have an adverse effect on the infrastructure of the city. Locals view New York as a popular restaurant where lines can form and the kitchen becomes overworked on busy nights. Similarly, the city's transportation system, hotels, and attractions may be burdened by the influx of tourists. Due to the high demand for tourist attractions and services, prices have increased, making it harder for long-term residents to afford the cost of living in the city. Some of them are even forced to leave because they can no longer afford to live there. This can result in long wait times and crowded streets, making it difficult for locals to go about their daily lives. Number 6. Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. 13.79 million. The city of Kuala Lumpur is a melting pot of international tourists drawn to its amazing energy and rich cultural heritage. But why is Kuala Lumpur so popular? The city boasts a rich blend of heritage and modernity with stunning colonial architecture alongside gleaming skyscrapers. Imagine yourself standing in the heart of the city, surrounded by towering skyscrapers, bustling street vendors, and the sounds of vibrant cultures mixing together. You feel a sense of excitement in the air. Kuala Lumpur is a food lover's paradise, with street vendors selling fusion and traditional dishes, and of course, it's home to some of the most famous landmarks in Southeast Asia, like the Petronas Towers and the Bada Caves. The city's economy has flourished as a result of the influx of foreign tourists, with new hotels, restaurants, and retail establishments springing up to accommodate the flow of tourists. There are certain negative effects on the city's popularity, but it has also assisted in maintaining the cultural legacy of the area as more and more people become aware of it and value it. There's also the problem of preserving the city's heritage as more and more people come to see its famous landmarks, which runs the risk of becoming overcrowded and losing their charm. The overwhelming number of tourists can make locals feel as though they're being driven out of their own city. The heavy influx of visitors can also put a strain on local infrastructure, causing traffic congestion and overcrowded public transportation. Number 5. Singapore. 14.67 million. Singapore is an intriguing city-state. Millions of people from over the world have been drawn to this place because of its beauty and amazement, which includes its beautiful beaches, lush green gardens, and tall skyscrapers among its bustling streets. Singapore is a popular destination because to its perfect blend of modern conveniences and traditional culture. It offers everything one could possibly want, including world-class shopping, cuisine, and natural wonders. Travelers from abroad now gather in Singapore. Visitors from all over the world travel to the island nation to enjoy its cutting-edge attractions and unmatched beauty, which includes the famed Marina Bay Sands and lush gardens along the bay. Greetings. Unfortunately, there have been some grave effects as a result of the large number of foreign visitors. Because of the city's increased popularity, its infrastructure is under stress, which has resulted in clogged roads, packed public transportation, and skyrocketing housing costs. More trash, air pollution, and carbon emissions than the city can manage have been caused by the sharp rise in tourism, which has also had a negative effect on the environment. Number 4. Dubai, United Arab Emirates. 15.93 million. Dubai, the city of skyscrapers and boundless luxury, has long been a popular travel destination for tourists from around the world. Tourists are drawn to the glittering city to experience its opulent lifestyle and cutting-edge amenities, but there are unavoidable consequences to the increase in foreign visitors to Dubai. Dubai's tourism industry is booming, but the city's infrastructure and resources are straining to keep up with the demand. This has led to a number of issues, such as overcrowding, increased traffic congestion, and extreme strain on the city's resources. Unquestionably beautiful and charming, Dubai is now gone. Its reliance on tourism has exposed it to the negative effects that go along with it. Water shortage, food waste, energy depletion, and other issues plague the city. As tourism grows, so does the need for electricity, water, and other resources, straining the city's infrastructure and creating a vicious cycle whereby more visitors mean more resources needed. Number 3. London, United Kingdom. 19.09 million. It is not surprising that London is one of the most visited cities in the world, drawing millions of tourists annually. However, this popularity comes at a price, as the city is experiencing a severe overabundance of foreign visitors, with noticeable effects. Imagine strolling through London streets, taking in the sights and sounds, when all of a sudden you are surrounded by a sea of tourists. They are everywhere, on the sidewalks, in the parks, in the shops, and in the restaurants. Travelers from other nations have greatly added to an already overwhelming population density in the city center of London, making dining out feel more like a swarm of strangers than a place where you once felt at home. The popularity of London has put a strain on the city's infrastructure. The transportation system is unable to handle the increased demand, resulting in crowded buses, trains, and tubes. The traffic on the city's roads is heavy, and the air quality is declining. The high demand for housing has driven up prices, making it challenging for locals to find reasonably priced places to live. The city's ecosystem has been negatively impacted by the congestion of tourists as well. London's parks and green areas are suffering from a rise in trash and rubbish. Famous tourist attractions in the city, such Tower Bridge and Buckingham Palace, are getting crowded with visitors, making it harder for residents to enjoy them. Number 2. Paris, France. 19.1 million. With its famous monuments, Paris, often known as the City of Lights, is one of the most popular travel destinations in the world. One of the most visited cities in the world due to its rich history and enchanting atmosphere, but this influx of foreign visitors has come at a price. Imagine a city that is constantly welcoming new visitors but never seems to have enough space for them all. Picture streets crowded with people, historic monuments overflowing with tourists, and cafes bursting at the seams with people looking for a haven from the heat today. Paris is a hot place where foreign visitors outweigh locals, with far-reaching and extensive problems resulting from this over-tourism. The city's historic sites and the allure of its neighborhoods are being weakened by the increased foot traffic. The perpetual hordes of tourists creating an increasingly hostile climate is frustrating the locals, and rising costs and a lack of rental properties are making it harder for Parisians to afford to live in the city they call home. Furthermore, with tourists taking over the streets and creating an atmosphere more akin to a theme park than a lively city, the tourist industry has taken over the city, replacing neighborhood stores and restaurants with chain stores and fast food outlets. As a result, it is becoming harder to find an authentic Parisian experience. Number 1. Bangkok, Thailand. 22.78 million. Bangkok, the vibrant metropolis of Thailand, is the world's most visited city thanks to its vibrant street markets. Millions of people visit this city each year for a variety of reasons, including its vibrant temples and mouth-watering street food. But what many fail to realize is that this influx of tourists is having detrimental effects on both the city and its citizens. The streets are so congested with visitors that it is practically impossible to get around, and the noise and pollution are so loud that it is almost unbearable. That it's hard to get a quiet moment because there are so many foreign visitors, and the effects are beginning to become apparent. The first effect is the burden on the city's infrastructure, which includes overflowing garbage cans and packed public transportation. Bangkok's hospitals and schools are finding it difficult to meet the demand for the high-quality treatment and education they provide to the city's citizens as a result of resources being diverted to accommodate tourists. The effect on the neighborhood is the second outcome. The cost of life is rising due to the influx of tourists, making it more difficult for many locals to buy basic essentials. Furthermore, the city's natural environment is being negatively impacted by the tourists' actions, which are upsetting the city's cultural legacy and turning once quiet districts into a mishmash of Western-style cafes and souvenir shops. Bangkok's parks and green areas are being demolished to make room for new tourist attractions, and the once beautiful waterways are now choked with garbage and trash. Check out this playlist of my best videos on nations, hotels, and places you must see, and subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss any future travel-related videos. I'll see you in the next video. Be careful.